Back in 2021, 67-year-old Roberto Colin walked into an interrogation room to help police with their investigation into his missing wife. What Roberto doesn't know is that the police found his wife's purse lying on the side of the road, covered in blood, less than a mile from Roberto's home.
Fill me in a little bit about you and Marie,
okay,
and how you know her.
I started when I usually call my mother every weekend, right, Sunday. So she picks up.
You know how much this was to find this thing? Sorry, there you go.
So she picks up, and she starts talking instead of my mother.
Just one random time when you called your mom?
No, every time I called from then on, she would be like the secretary. She would ask my mother questions and then relay it. I wouldn't be able to talk to my mother.
Okay, but how did she get into your mom's life?
I don't know. I think
Roberto married Marie as part of a deal that she would take care of his mother in exchange for U.S. citizenship through the marriage.
Like, how did this deal get arranged? Like, does your mom have access to money, or?
My mother had $12,000, but she just paid her condo off last year. But she had $12,000 in the bank account, but she doesn't spend money.
Okay.
So she had money in their account.
Okay. And did you know if there was like a deal worked out between your mom and Marie? Like,
room and board.
Room and board. And
basically my understanding, and every once in a while I'll give her some money to, do whatever. But she said she was going out and working, which,
doing what?
Cleaning houses, but I don't believe it.
Okay. So, room and board, and I guess you also spoke to your mother, and your mother said that
my mother
that was okay.
Doesn't carry on a good conversation. So when I went over there December the 25th, she kept saying, pregunta, which means ask him. And I didn't know what the hell she was going to ask me, but then I started to figure out that she wanted me to help her stay.
Okay.
So as of that point, we started talking about my helping her stay in the country. Yeah.
So, and originally the deal was you were going to marry her so that she could become legal here.
Yeah.
And in return, she would take care of your mom at your house here in Boynton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roberto tells the detectives that he believes that not only was Marie using his mother, she was also stealing money from her as well. At one point, his mother had over $12,000, and shortly after Marie moved in to care for her, the bank deactivated her debit card, claiming that she was overdrawing on her account.
At this point, you're feeling like maybe she's stealing from your mom? Or
I don't know what was going on. I think she was taking advantage of my mom and using her to lease the car and drive back and forth about her business,
Okay. So at that point, did you know that her account had no money, or you didn't know?
No, I went to the bank. I went to the bank and I stood in line, and because of COVID, they wouldn't admit me into the bank without an appointment.
Then while she's at the apartment talking to you, she can't explain where all the paperwork is and all this stuff?
Yeah, she said that she don't know what my mother did with it.
Okay, so what happens from there?
We went to Taco Bell and then went to visit my mother.
You and Marie together?
Yeah, and they didn't allow her in, only me. Sunday, my mother was egressed from the hospital. She picked him up.
Okay.
She picked her up. So I talked to her. She sounded pretty okay, I guess. And then on Monday, she showed up at my house with my mother and a bunch of my mother's stuff and was going to leave her there.
Okay, so let me make sure I get this date right.
Anyway, my mother decided she didn't want to go just as Marie was leaving, and she left with Marie.
So your mom went back?
Yeah.
With Marie?
On Monday.
And took all her stuff back again?
No, she left her stuff. Then on Tuesday, I drove my truck with the trailer and picked up the bed, so she'd have some place to stay.
So on the 16th, you go to Hialeah with your truck and trailer.
Yeah.
And you get your mom's furniture.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think was going on, like with the car and like?
I thought she was using my mother for driving back and forth.
Like maybe had your mom sign for the car.
Yeah, so she could have a way to get around. That's what I thought initially.
Okay. And at this point, you knew your mom's money was gone?
No.
No?
I didn't know that until Wednesday when I went to the bank. I went to Chase Bank down here on Federal, and they opened up the account and showed me, because I had my mother right there, but she didn't have any good ID. So they showed me everything that had gone on in her account for the last 2 months.
And what do you see?
I see that her money disappeared. All of it.
Can you see where they went? Like where the money was?
They told me the transfer on one was to Bank of America.
And is that Marie's bank?
Yeah.
You knew that?
Yeah. She told me that she had an account with Bank of America back in Colombia.
Wednesday.
Then she comes on, she texts me that she has the paperwork I had asked for,
On Wednesday?
Thursday morning.
Okay, did you confront her on Wednesday?
No, I didn't talk to her at all.
Did you try or no?
No.
Why not? Were you not?
Because I was trying to find out what was going on. I was trying to go through the paperwork to get a good understanding, because the way they wrote it out, or the way it's printed out, it shows my mother making deposits of $100 to her savings account. Then all of a sudden, bang, 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 the money started to move.
Okay, but you didn't call Marie and question her?
No. I told her to bring me all the paperwork she had.
Okay, so on Thursday now?
Yeah, she texts me and she says, I have an appointment. I'll be there after lunch or something.
Here in Boynton?
Yeah, here in Boynton, and I have the papers that you requested.
And did she bring the paperwork?
She brought a bunch of bills. She brought the bill for the car, the bill for the insurance, the bill for the toll, turnpike stuff. That's what she brought. And
she came in the Toyota?
She came in the Toyota, and I got the key from her because I told her I was going to the doctor's office.
You got the key for the car?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to the doctor's office in a bit. I'm going to drive this car. And she said, okay. So then she comes in and sits down and shows me this paperwork.
Uh-huh.
And I said, that's not what I asked you for. I asked you for the lease agreement and the agreement with the insurance company. Because I went to the bank and they showed me a signature on a check that wasn't my mother's. She signed my mother's name using an I instead of a Y. And the reason she did that is because on my mother's new birth certificate, which she had to get post 9/11, it wrote her name out I instead of Y.
And you leave with the Toyota and go to the
I had to take a shower first, but I took all the paperwork that I had been showing her, But before that, we started talking, discussing, or whatever you want to call it, and being that we speak Spanish, it's kind of out of staccato, But I was telling her, there's something wrong here. All my mother's money is gone. The only one that has access to this is you.
And is she denying any wrongdoing?
But my all her information was on her phone. The bank, she had the bank thing in her phone, app in the phone. I don't know how she got it.
And the phone is still missing at that point?
Yeah.
Okay. And she denies any wrongdoing? Okay. So you shower?
I showered. I had to clean my butt because I had to go to the urologist, and he has a habit of sticking his finger in stuff.
Okay.
So
that's nice. And then you put the papers away somewhere?
I took them with me.
Okay. And you go to the urologist?
Yeah.
And she stays with your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so after that, what happens?
When I came back home, she was gone.
She was gone.
And I think somebody picked her up from right there, right about the same time, because she was looking out the window all the time she talked. She opened up the shade and she was looking out the window while she was talking to me. That was it. That was it until, Sunday morning when an officer came to my door to do a report.
Roberto seems to have an explanation for everything. He explains why Marie was at his house, why he was seen driving her car, and even why he took a shower before leaving his home. Roberto claims that he took a shower to prepare for his doctor's appointment, but the real reason for the shower was to wash off Marie's blood.
So when's the last time you talked to Marie?
Thursday.
Have you talked to her on the phone since then?
No. I called her and it goes straight to voicemail.
Straight to voicemail. Did you leave her a message?
No.
Okay. She hasn't called you?
No.
She didn't say, I'm here, or I'm there. I'm sure you would have told us already. What about, do you have your phone on you, so we can just see that you haven't called her?
It's at the apartment.
Okay, all right, we'll worry about that later. What kind of phone is it?
I got it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And you still, to this point, don't know what happened to the car?
No.
Okay.
When I showed up, it was gone.
Okay.
What about keys? We talked about keys the other day?
Yeah,
Who has keys?
My mother, I left the key with my mother, but they supposedly issue 2 sets of keys with every sale, don't they? I don't know.
Yeah, usually.
So she had 2 sets of keys to begin with, or Mary did.
So you suspect that your mom took the vehicle somewhere?
I suspect that it was moved either by my mother or somebody came and got it. Because the neighbor said, where's the car? When I was loading up my truck, the neighbor said, what happened to the car? I said, it wasn't here when I showed up. And she gave a look like, well, it was here before,
Okay.
Wait, when you say came and got it, who do you think came and got it? Do they tow a lot of cars in your mom's neighborhood if you don't
Not
have
out of
proper
her parking space.
stickers?
Not out of her parking space. That's her personal parking space.
So when would it be repoed for any reason?
That Toyota that showed absolutely no interest, and the
Okay.
bill is actually not due until the last part of
Okay,
this
so that
month.
wouldn't make sense. So Toyota wouldn't have come and got it,
No.
even though you asked them and begged them
Yeah.
to need it. Where are the keys right now?
I have no idea. I'm going back there with Friday.
I thought you told us you still have one of the keys in your...
No, I don't have no keys.
All right. Was there ever an argument or a fight between you and Marie?
We argued, if you can call what we were doing arguing, that it wasn't the point where I'm super excited. It was, I need to know because my mother is in arrears.
And that was,
Thursday. And I need to know all this information because I have to try to get my mother out of the situation she's in, because she don't even have a bank account no more. The bank closed her account. I was telling her, you're gonna go to jail, you know that, right? They're gonna arrest you for this, because this is grand larceny, and this
Right.
is abuse of elderly.
Elderly abuse,
Yeah.
enhancement, oh
I
yeah.
said, you're never gonna get your citizenship now, you know? This is what you wanted. You wanted to be a citizen, and yet you went around and stole all my mother's money. She said, no, I didn't take it, and I'm showing her. Now, I don't know for a fact she stole my mother's money because I didn't see her take it out, but the ATM machines have cameras. And that's what I wanted the city of Hialeah to do, you know? And I was telling her, I'm gonna take you to the city of Hialeah and have them get your picture so they can see what the, you know, if it was you at the ATM card, at the ATM machine.
Roberto claims that the last time he spoke with Marie, he had threatened her to go to the police if she didn't return the money she stole from his mother. After they argued back and forth for a little while, Roberto explains that he took a shower and left, and that was the last time he had seen or heard from her since.
now I have to ask you these questions, okay? Did you do anything to her, Marie? No.
No.
Do you know where Marie is?
No,
Okay. Did you kill Marie?
no.
Okay. What about the yard, the backyard? What's going on in the backyard? Is there any digging or anything going on in the backyard?
No.
No? Okay.
I dig post holes for my dog's poop. You know, I'll do a post hole, go down a couple inches so I can stick the poop in there, and then I'll bury it.
Okay.
But they're all open now, I mean.
Okay. So any of that stuff is old that was done for your dog's poop?
Yeah.
What about the digging along, by the shed along the side of the fence?
That's a dog run. When the dog runs back and forth, they wear the thing down, and I sprayed it because it had that ivory, that fern, whatever the thing is that grows all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So I sprayed that to kill that stuff. That was like months ago.
Okay. Just look dug out like you're planting flowers or something, no?
No, that's all the open areas when the dog runs back and forth with the other two barking at each other.
When the detectives went to speak with Roberto at his home, they noticed a few spots in the backyard that appeared to be freshly dug and refilled. They also noticed that some of the flooring was missing from inside of the home.
Would you have any, I know you let the detectives in last week.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have any issue with us doing a more in-depth search
No.
of the house?
Go ahead.
Okay. Specifically to see if there's any kind of blood DNA.
Okay.
You have no issue with that? Okay. And then we'd also like to just look at your phone. Would you have an issue with that?
No.
Okay. What do you think happened?
I think this is more than one person's involved in this.
Meaning what?
In the ring of stealing people's identification and stuff.
Like her family or
Her daughter knew that she was getting ill-gotten gains. She had to know it because she got a computer from Best Buy and sent it to her. She took the card out in my mother's name,
a Best Buy card?
a Best Buy card,
And how do you know that she sent it to her daughter?
because she told me.
Who did?
Mary.
Marie?
Yeah, she told
Mary.
me. And I didn't know about it until that Saturday when I went, because it was sitting on the bill was sitting on the couch. And I read it and I saw computer, $1,000, no. And my mother's name.
You understand, Robert, why we're doing all this?
Yeah.
It's nothing against you personally.
Yeah, I understand.
It's just that per her friends and family.
I got called by what do you call it, Telemundo.
Yeah.
And
And we just need to make sure,
she's not there, I know.
or that something didn't happen at your house, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna have you, even though you just have to sign the page, I'm gonna put an X beside each thing for you to sign.
One of the detectives steps out of the room to go over anything he may have missed with his supervisor. When he returns, he asks Roberto about Marie's purse, which is the one they found by the side of the road, covered in blood.
A couple minutes, let me just ask you one more thing. Her purse, do you remember her having a purse?
Yeah, a huge one.
Okay, what do you remember it looking like?
I don't really pay attention to
Just
it.
big?
It's big. I mean,
Was it white? Was it?
it was dark. I know it's dark. I know when she went to the courthouse, she had to just about empty it out, because she had like curvers and everything else in it, so it's a big bag.
Big like suitcase or big like girl purse? Like how the girls like carry around everything in their
A
life?
big purse like girls carry all this stuff in.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah. I know she had that.
Did you personally, do you remember any time touching that?
Her purse?
Yeah.
I imagine sometime.
What would you say if I told you, we found her purse in close proximity to your house, covered in blood?
Her purse?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Her purse with her stuff in it.
Yeah.
Do you know why? You don't remember her at any point bleeding from anything, maybe hitting the wall?
Not with a purse.
No.
With her body.
No, with her body. What I'm saying is like her body bleeding onto the purse. She didn't get injured bad enough that she was bleeding? Are you 100% positive?
We need your help in making sense of this, because we're the outside looking in. Right?
We're in close proximity, but where?
Like in the street?
In a tree?
Street.
In the street by your house. So we have her purse, has blood on it, her purse,
Do you know it's her purse?
100% it's her purse.
Okay.
So we need your help in making sense of that, because
I can't make sense of it.
Because what does that look like from our position? No, I mean, so the last thing that anybody hears from her is on the phone saying, Roberto, stop, Roberto, stop.
Oh, yeah, did you ask him about that?
Well, we didn't really get into it, but.
But we were talking about, she was telling me that she wasn't a thief. That's
Okay.
what she was telling me.
So the last thing anybody hears from her is Roberto, stop, and then next to your house is her purse covered in blood, and nobody's talked to her.
Did he tell you that was the...
The detective explains that when Roberto confronted Marie about stealing money from her mother, she was on the phone with her own mother. At one point, her mother claims that she heard Marie yelling for Roberto to stop, and then the phone cuts off.
Do you remember her saying those words?
No, I didn't know any particular order like that, no.
Okay, what order?
Not like that. I don't remember her saying that, you know.
But,
I know we were talking profusely, loudly.
Heatedly,
about it,
loudly,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
But
You're from New York, people talk loud, right?
Not
Okay.
a question of, stop, because I wasn't doing anything.
do you remember if it was exactly at that point that she hit the wall? Because then her phone disconnected.
I was sitting down, and the next thing I know, I see her phone barking in the air, so I don't know exactly how she did it, but I know that's what happened.
And after she got the battery back to the phone, that's when you showered and left?
More or less, because we were still talking about dealing with the police.
And Mom was there?
Mom was in the room.
Do you have an issue with us checking Mom's apartment?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna add that to this list, I'll have you sign it.
We appreciate your help in all this. We get, and we gotta figure it out. So, one way or another, and
I understand.
you coming in here and you saying, how can I help? Let's get this fixed, is the best way to do this.
Okay.
And that shows us we don't have to worry about anything with you. So do you think somebody might have hurt her after you left, maybe?
I don't want to speculate.
I mean, what do you think would make sense of this? So, did she ever get into it with any of your neighbors?
No. She got into it with the neighbors at my mother's house, I know that, because one of them said something to her just recently, as a matter of fact.
That's just pretty far.
I don't know what's, and I doubt one of my mother's neighbors.
Would have your dog maybe have hurt her? Maybe
My
that's
dog didn't hurt anything.
Yeah, that didn't. I don't know. Help me brainstorm. How would she have gotten an injury?
I don't know.
Would Margarita have hurt her? Maybe she came up and she owed her the money, or maybe she was taking half that $14,000 that's missing. And
I believe Margarita picked it up, but I don't know Margarita picked it up.
Why do you believe Margarita picked it up?
Because she came straight to my house. She's only been there once before.
The day after, right?
Yeah, she came straight to my house.
Unless she's GPS'd it and saved it in her phone or something like that, how would she remember?
Yeah, why would she?
Right.
Why would she remember my address? I mean, she's only dropping in that one time, so.
Yeah, but I don't see her coming there and searching your house.
Nobody searched my house.
No, Margarita.
Not my house.
Oh.
Would your mom have hurt her? Your mom wouldn't hurt her, right? We're from the outside looking into it,
No.
so it wouldn't have been your
Trying to
dog.
make sense of the blood.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been your dog, it wouldn't have been your mom. None of the neighbors have any ongoing beef with her, because she's only been there a couple hours every other week, or whatever, every week.
All right, so you're okay, Robert, if we go back now, we might need you to stay outside for a little bit while we do this search. We can spray this chemical that will show us if there's any blood or anything. Yeah. You okay with that?
Yeah.
You've been watching First 48 too much.
Yeah. You're gonna see the walls have not been touched because the dogs have laid up against the walls and they're, and as far as the wood's concerned, there's nothing, I know, you could look at that.
The quicker we get it done, the better kind of thing. So we do appreciate your help.
The detectives would follow Roberto back to his home. Inside, they found human blood splattered on the floors and the walls. From there, they went out onto the backyard and began removing the dirt from the areas that appeared freshly dug. Inside one of these holes, they found the remains of Marie Gomez, cut into 5 pieces.
You can still see that there is a police presence here out front of the house of 66-year-old Roberto Colin, who lives here on Southeast 28th Court. Human remains were found in his backyard Friday night after a several-day investigation. Investigators say Colin killed 45-year-old Mary Stella Gomez Mullet, who Colin told detectives he was married to so that she could acquire U.S. citizenship. Colin is now charged with premeditated murder in the first degree, that he got into an argument with her because he accused her of defrauding his mother, who she was the caretaker for. A few days later, a bloody purse was found near Colin's home, police believing it belonged to Gomez Mullet. And police also learned a friend of Gomez Mullet talked with her before she went missing on February 18th, and she was heard on the phone yelling, "No, no, no, Roberto," like she was being attacked. Detectives then searched Colin's home and found blood on the front door as well as the floor, wall, window, and ceiling. Colin said that was the blood from his injured dog, but crime scene investigators determined it was human blood. Police also say Colin called a certain room in his house a French word meaning slaughterhouse, and he said things like that police will not be able to, quote, put Humpty Dumpty back together again, and that Gomez Mullet was, quote, swimming with the fishes. Neighbors we spoke, very surprised. They can't believe that this happened.
But there's something we not expect to happen in this neighborhood, because this spot in Boynton Beach is very quiet. Everybody know everybody.
Now, Colin is in jail with no bond. The Boynton Beach Police Department says their heartfelt condolences go out to Mullet's family, and also Colin's next court date is set for April 5th. Reporting live in Boynton Beach, Steve King, WPBF 25 News.
Roberto was found guilty of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. What are your thoughts on this case? Please share them in the comments below.